I decided, I think I'm really just going to start filling you guys in on some of the stuff and the ideas that come to me when I'm doing this work out here, working with these routes, these water routes and stuff that I've been talking about. But I'm just going to jump right in. So the number 11 is like totally offset. I know you've been working your rituals and things of that nature. And I don't know what you guys count. Different people have different counts and rituals that they do. Most rituals are centered around some form of a count. That's what makes you a master of ceremony. I don't care if you're writing lyrics. All of that stuff is ritual. So any type of a count puts you in a ritual. Anything that you like, even if you're at work, you may not realize it. You're engaged in ritual. If you do something on a repetitive basis, it's considered a count. But the number 11 is offset. And it's deep. This is really a bad experience because of the fact that when you talk about the number 11, you're dealing with like a weapon of some sort. And it's usually a weapon that's utilized by more than one person. So you talk about the number 11 in old government, most people that fell up under kingship usually had a wife, a concubine, some form of a consort, a female business partner, things of that nature. And that's totally offset now because of the fact that we have to essentially lie and keep secrets to live a life like that. And there are people that are blessed to live a lifestyle like that. There are males that are blessed to live a lifestyle like that. So I'm not saying that it's totally offset for everyone, but I'm saying on a mass level, the masses of the people, 11 is offset. And this is going into like Kundalini and sexual ritual too as well. So like, for instance, like when you talk about work and you're married, I can't explain to you why and go into the deep dynamics of it scientifically because I could. It would take me hours. But you shoot yourself in the foot because you're what you're doing when you're working is that you're utilizing your wealth to visa the number 11. And this has been successfully done even to the point where number 11 used to be an exclusive number governed by marriages and used, like I said, the number 11 will be looked at as a weapon and used as a husband, but as a weapon for the wife or wives, plural, or females, even mother, wife, and sister, a group of females, this 11 would be considered a weapon. And even the sexual ritual is considered a weapon. So anything that you do until you get to that number 11, you are up under a bar, essentially, is what it is, what I'm trying to explain. But now, because of the advent of yesterday's event and the few days, the events that happened before that, the number 11 is not off limits, it's offset. And it's a key number. And I'm saying it's messed up because it's a very key number when you start going into different portals. So what's happening now is that, and that's what I'm going to start getting into in future episodes, is that the numbers and the way they work is changing. You notice I just came in and started talking about the number 11. I didn't come in and start talking about 1, 2, 3, 8. I just totally jumped in and started talking about 11 because really that's where it kind of like starts at. That's why I said it's offset. It's to the point where now the number 11 is like the number 1, if you're like counting. And the number 1 is still going to come into play. I'll eventually address that, but it comes into play later now because of this new shift that we're into, this new energy and this new grid, man. It's deep. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I was doing a ritual and I got to the point. I was like, dang, I got to put this information out because I got to that point. And I know how important that letter and number is and what it is, that symbol is too. So I was like, let me just put out the information and do a video and talk about that. But yeah, it's off limits. It's supposed to be used as a weapon. And there's some people that are very rich and wealthy that still operate like this. Don't get me wrong. They have like more than one husband or more than one wife, whatever you're doing, like people out there still doing it, but I'm saying on a mass level, it's done in secret societies is what it is. And but on a mass level, it's now been offset because we have a king now, and that's important because it's now being utilized more. So it's going to be like we come to a point where that's like offset. That's kind of deep when it comes to ritual work. That has brought me to it definitely a major pen in a lot of the rituals and stuff that I do and how I do them based on this new energy. Because I'm trying to figure it out. That's why I was asking people where do we start? Like some people say we start from Z. Well, we know that everything starts from source. But then after that, like, do you just go to like 1 or do you just go to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got the numbers 1 through 9. And they say, well, that's essentially the alphabet. And then you got 10, but then it's like 11 goes into the Kabbalah though. And all of that was offset with this deep sexual ritual, man, kind of destroyed just about everything, and a lot of people don't see it. Of course, they're not supposed to see it. But it was always looked at as a weapon, though, like, and utilizing that number. And when you heighten a male or female, any person's sexual energy to that point, to where they start hitting 11, you can cause a major global shift if you don't know if you're just doing this out of like your own self gratification. It takes an extreme level of control, and they wouldn't even let you in a mystery. So this was what I really want to point out. I'm gonna shut down. Really wouldn't even let you utilize that number till you was about 55 years old, believe it or not. Period. That's how deep it was. Like they wouldn't let you get to that level of sexual ritual until you were a certain age because sex is something that people don't really understand. Like there's so many different levels to it. You have the levels of sex of like affection and male and female and husband and wife, and they will share. But then you have like sexual ritual. And it's like until you're at a certain maturity level with spirituality, you can't engage in certain sexual rituals. But some people mistakenly do it when their sexual energy is heightened. And that's what happened last year with this deep sexual ritual or whatever that kind of, actually it started 2 years ago, that knocked out, they said a dragon was going to knock out some certain amount of the stars out of the sky. It's kind of like what happened. That's what they call it in the book of Revelation. So this all goes into the number 11, the Kundalini energy, and when it's heightened, activating that dragon serpent. And we'll talk more about that in the future, man. I just want to kind of throw out there and drop some knowledge. It's in the mood. So you guys stay vigilant, keep studying. Namaste.